Support LaneSide. Get something cool.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another edition of LaneSide Reviews. As always, I'm the bearded beast, Rob Johnson, and as you can tell from this opening, I'm still injured, which means we're going to be looking at a more rev-dominant / two-handed review for some new equipment. But don't worry, Scoops and Old Guy Wayne will be back soon doing one-handed reviews going forward. So until then, why don't we go LaneSide and see how today's equipment stacks up?
Okay guys, welcome into the shop. You can see that we are looking at the Envy Tour. Now the Envy Tour Solid, we saw the all-black ball, and we really liked that ball when it came out. An asymmetric, controllable benchmark ball with a smooth cover was a-okay with us. The only problem is sometimes you need something that's going to get a little bit farther down lane. Something's going to be cleaner for the high friction centers where they don't have a lot of oil up front, so you can get the ball down lane and still get some pop, get some hook down lane, without expecting a ball that's going to hook like, you know, a 3 offset or something like that. Something that's controllable and yet gets us down lane. And that's where we come to this baby right here. Got the new cover stock on it. We'll talk a little bit about during the video, but we wanted to make sure we got something that was pretty close to a benchmark layout to take advantage of the low diff, low mass bias ball here, and this nice cover. So what we did here is we went with PAL. I don't know if you can see it here. We've gone 4.5 by 5.5 by 2. This is going to give us pretty big flare on it, but it's still going to be pretty continuous with a 5.5-inch second number here for PAL. We know that's pretty continuous. And then we're to 2.5 to 1, so it's going to have a little bit of pop here with this ratio. And if you look at the actual dual angle numbers of this, we're looking at 70 by 4.5 by 55. So it's going to get down lane pretty easily. It's not going to, as soon as it hits the friction, it's not going to jump left on us. And 4.5-inch pin to pap, well, yeah, that's going to be a lot of flare. So we're hoping to see a ball that's going to get down lane, not overreact when it sees friction, but give us something that's going to be very benchmarky and controllable. But the only way to find out if we're right is to take it LaneSide and see how it's stacked up.
All right, so we are here on the lanes with your resident two-handed bowler, and today we're joined by Scoops.
Hello.
And we're going to be looking at me throwing the Envy Tour Pearl.
Oh, look at that carry.
Ooh. We last saw this ball winning the league championships for Mr. Tom Doherty, where he just about struck on everything.
Yeah.
This is kind of a new ball.
Yeah, it's got the Envy Pearl cover stock, but it's combined with the HK22.
Yes, so we saw the Envy cover stock on the original, the solid, the black Envy Tour.
And it was a solid, Envy solid. So this is the first time I think we're seeing the Pearl version of the Envy.
And it's an HK22.
Yeah. So it's so shiny.
Now, they've used the same core in it, the Obsession Tour core, which means it's got a differential in and around 0.34, mass bias around 0.13. The practical upshot of that being it strikes like that.
Yeah.
It has a medium amount of flare. It is very continuous.
Yeah.
And being asymmetric, you can use your drill angles or your PAL angles to really dictate the motion on this ball.
Yeah. Where it's exiting its skid phase and entering the roll phase and
hook
in the hook.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can really tune this one.
Because somebody pointed out one other time to me that saying that the distance and stuff like that isn't quite right. And I'm like, that's what hook and skid and roll is. So it's all technical.
All bowling is about distance. If you're worried about lateral hook, then you're looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's You want to know where your ball is hooking distance-wise down the lane, where it's spinning up, where you're throwing a terrible shot and getting away with it.
I mean, I take that.
Yeah, I thought I was going to throw it right through the beak. Yeah. So this ball is designed for benchmark reaction plus. Well,
the core dynamics in it we've seen before in the NV Tour.
Yeah.
A lot of companies have similar differentials, so we know this ball is to control.
Yeah.
But then they put the NV HK22 Pearl on here to give it more hook.
Yeah.
So
Just
what
to make it better than everybody else's.
I'm better than you, and you know it.
Yeah.
This is the MJF of bowling balls.
I was gonna say.
But you can see I'm not really swinging the lane a lot.
No.
I'm in my benchmark area. This is a ball that I can throw when there's friction on the lane.
Yeah.
Or my regular benchmark ball just isn't quite turning the corner enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you can see
it really is a good control ball, I think, for you. Like that one, you got a little bit more right.
Yeah, I drifted right and tried to throw it into the friction a little bit, and you can see, as I was saying, when you get the friction,
Yeah, it hooks.
it can hook, but it's designed to control the pocket.
Yeah. Well, and that's what you want, really, and especially if you're having one of those nights where you think you're throwing it well and you're just not getting the carry and you end up more splits than what you want. This is a ball you go to. So you can get there.
Yep.
And like you said, you threw that bad shot and got a 7 count. Well, 10 of those is a 190 game.
Yeah.
Right? Like
if that had been the solid, I can guarantee I would have gone through the nose because it would have picked up earlier.
Yeah.
The HK22 allows it to get a little bit farther down lane, but still not overhook.
Yeah. It's not one of the big asymmetrics like the other NVs that are out there and any of the other like high-end balls, right? This is, like you said, benchmark plus.
Now, I really like this bowling as a two-hander, as I've been for the last little while. I really like the way that I can strap on this ball a little bit, and I can actually have a ball that doesn't overhook.
Yeah, well, that's
one of the problems I've run into a lot since I've made this change. You can see, looking at my ball speed, I don't have a lot of ball speed.
Yeah.
And I need a ball that's going to be clean.
From going from somebody that every once in a while I had to go over and remind that they could possibly be throwing it through the break point.
Yeah.
To going over and saying, you might need the ball down or throw something a little harder. So
here we are with the Rattler Solid. Now, the core dynamics are similar in the Rattler. The Rattler, however, is asymmetrical.
Yeah.
It has a mass bias less than 0.008 as opposed to the NV Tour. So the NV Tour, we can use our drill angle to get it to spin up a little quicker.
Yeah.
And we can shorten the hook window so that we can get just a little bit of a different look while still retaining the motion that we wanted.
Yeah.
When you
definitely see it on that one.
Yeah, watch it here in slow motion and watch where they make their moves on the lane and the motion they make. They're very, very similar. Yeah. Look at that. Same place.
Yeah.
I think maybe a foot longer on the NV, maybe 2 feet longer. Yeah. And that's allowed me to stay in the oil and still get the ball to really turn.
Turn and carry. Get that entry angle to carry it out those corners. Right?
Yep. Because as a two-hander, I don't have a problem making the ball hook. None of us do.
No.
And as I've said before, if you're worried about the lateral hook, then you're watching the wrong thing.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm looking at what ball I can get down lane and especially if there's a hook point that forms.
Wow.
I need to know that I'm going to be able to get the ball through it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the benefit of the HK22 too, because if hook stuff happens, then this is going to take that out of the picture.
Now look at it. You can see on the floor level cam, especially at slow motion here. Yeah, it looks about 2 feet longer. Very similar style of motion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm pretty envious of this one. I love the black one. I'm going to make everybody else envious while I beat them with it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, guys, we'll see you laneside.